We are excited to bring you our next speaker. Please stand to your feet and welcome Kyani Chief Sales Officer, Dericott.
I'm so happy to be here. I'll get into my stuff in a minute. I'm so happy to be here. I came Thursday, participated in a bit of the Diamond meeting, been here on through. This has been spectacular, yes? Okay, do you guys know the definition of your team name? Do you know what it means? Fusion, the definition of fusion is the process or result of two or more things being joined together to form one entity. Now, I'll tell you what I feel. I feel what's going on fusing here. Dedication, hard work, loyalty, love. I'm feeling fused with all of you. Thank you. Now, where's my time? Okay, I gotta watch my time. Oh, that was fast. I've got several things I want to share with you today, but before I do, I'd like to go back one little tick. Do you remember the nucleus seed video? Okay, I'm going to give you a little clue about something so you can even better understand the quality of the team, the company that you're associated with. In that video, there's one little section where Carl Taylor was walking along behind one of his harvesting machines. Now, I happen to be responsible for that particular piece of film. Let me tell you why. Several years ago, 2 years ago, I had a group of Japanese people that were visiting the office and doing the tour, and they went to the farm. It happened to be during harvest time. Now, harvest time is pretty weird at this farm. Do you know how big Carl Taylor's farm is? Can you say 30,000 acres? Okay, even for us that's big. You bring some Japanese folks over there, they wig out. They can't even think that big. And the machines are bigger than their houses, okay? And we're going along with them, and I noticed Carl Taylor do something unrehearsed, unscripted, something he just did. We're walking along, and there are these rows, okay? And this machine in front of us picks up the potatoes and then puts them in the thing. And we're going along, and one potato is off to the side. And guess what Carl Taylor does? We're just walking along, he stops, bends over, gets that one potato, and tosses it back over where it's going to be picked up. That is what Kyani is all about. That is what Team Fusion is all about. We're after the one. We leave no one and nothing behind. And that is who and what Carl Taylor is. That is who and what Kirk Hansen is. And you are so fortunate to be a part of this great company. And I'm so fortunate to be a part of you. Now, we've got some things to talk about today. I have been given about another 20 minutes, so we're going to cruise right through this stuff. I'm going to talk today about something that I think affects every single person here. Every single one of us. Whether it's Brandon and James, your top leaders, whether it's Carl Taylor. All of us go through this particular thing, and it's important that we understand it and what to do about it. Okay, not that one. Not that one. We missed one, but that's okay. We're going to talk today about adversity. How many of you ever felt adversity? Be honest. I know I haven't. I have it in my life. I have it in my job. Adversity. First of all, let's look at some synonyms of adversity. Misfortune, trouble, difficulty, hardship, distress, disaster, pain, suffering, affliction, sorrow, trauma. We're not done yet. Mishap, misadventure, accident, upset, reverse, setback, crisis, catastrophe, tragedy, calamity, burden. How many of you have had some of these? Yeah, all of you, right? And then here's my favorite one. Just plain tough. Sometimes things are just tough. And in the face of adversity, what do? That is what is important. That's what I can talk about today. Now, I'm going to ask you a question I'd like you to think about during the rest of my remarks. Which of these are stronger? How many of you like to camp? Go to the mountains, camp out? I love it. I love it a lot. And I have broken many pieces of wood against a big rock for the campfire. I've never broken rocks against many trees. So, which do you think is stronger? We're going to think about that. Now, this is a picture of three handsome guys. One maybe more than the other two. I don't know. I've got two brothers-in-law, husbands of my sisters, and we love to backpack and fly fish. We like to go up into the Sawtooth Mountains, the Wind Rivers, where there's nobody and nothing, and we hike way up there, and we camp, and we fly fish. Now, we also love the surrounding. We love the views and nature, and this is a picture we took, and I'm not really so concerned that you pay attention to the handsome guys they are. One more than the other two, maybe, I don't know. But these little spindly guys here, on that big old rock. Okay, here's another picture. I don't know why we like to take pictures on rocks. I don't know. It just happens that way. But this isn't even what I want you to look at, but rather this. These little trees have somehow, their little pine nut from the pine cone, some squirrel was running across the rock, sneezed or something, and the pine nut fell out, landed this little crack on the rock, and somehow this little tree took it in himself to grow. Now, what are the odds that this tree has? There's no soil there. There's no soil, hard to get water. Water just runs off those rocks. Nowhere to get real nutrition. No upline support. Not necessarily a fertile field of prospects. I mean, this guy's in trouble. What is he thinking about? What are the odds that this little tree is going to make it? Pretty slim, right? As my dad used to say, slim to none, and Slim just left town. However, this tree would have disagreed with you. Yeah, look at that. So much for that rock. And so with this tree. Even a bigger rock. Now this guy, he had to work right there. And this one, it got tough down through that rock. He had to take a serious right turn, but still, he made it. And there's my favorite one right there. Now, I'm going to ask the question again, which is stronger? Tree seems to be working its way out, doesn't it? Okay, now we're going to get a little personal. I'm going to show you a picture from my past. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Pretty cute, right? Yeah, it's pretty cute. Now you're going to notice something about me when I was a little boy. First of all, I'm not even looking at the camera. There's a reason. I couldn't see. I didn't even know it, but I couldn't see. I didn't know I had bad eyes and couldn't see until I got to kindergarten. And they gave me an eye test. And the nice little old nurse at the school gave me an eye test. She said, "Oh, son, you can't see anything." So they sent me to the doctor to get some glasses. I went and got glasses. And then this became this. Yeah, we took a step back from the cute train there, didn't we? Yeah, we went a whole nother direction there. Yeah. However, you'll notice something. Is there a back button? You'll notice something different between this picture and this picture. In picture number 2, I'm smiling. Do you know why I'm smiling? I can see. Oh my gosh, I can see. I went to the doctor, and you know I hate eye exams. They're so stupid, you know, because they got the thing in front of you. They're clicking down through. Whoever knows how they're clicking down. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. And they're like so much the same, and you don't want to seem really stupid. Well, I don't know, I can't tell. So you just say stuff, but then they got me glasses. I put them on, and I'm being serious. Guess what my first thought was? My mother is so pretty. I had no idea. Poor, she was just blurry. She was just kind of blurry. No distinct lines. Smile, frown, who knew? I don't know. I realized I could see the little lines, the veins in the leaves of trees. I could see there was leaves. Okay, so I was really happy. And look at that, you can tell how happy I am. But now I'm going to tell you the story. Getting these glasses was kind of like the first line of A Tale of Two Cities. It set me up for the best of times and the worst of times. I was so happy because I could see. A whole new world opened up for me. I could see clearly. The rain was gone. I could see forever. But I don't know about where you came from. I don't know about where you grew up, but in Sandy, Utah, where I grew up, little kids with glasses are the targets of the bullies at school. And I became a target. And I had a tough time. Talk about adversity, it was tough for me. I mean, it was all the name calling, you know, 4 Eyes, you know, Coke bottle bottoms, you know, and stupid and everything. And here's the thing. When you're a little kid and you get bullied, it's not very long before you start to believe everything they say. Everything. And I had no friends. I had no friends. Who wants to be my friend, right? They don't want to associate and get picked up by association. I was terrible at sports. Oh, I'm still terrible at sports. All those on the presidential trip, you saw me swing the golf club. I did get the right end. I was terrible at sports. I did not do well in my studies, mostly because I was always just so sad and afraid and everything else, and it was horrible. Horrible for me. Then, the day that changed the course of my life forever. Bad day at school. Bad day. One of my biggest tormentors. We're in the cafeteria having lunch. You know, I got my tray. I'm going over to my table. It's my table because no one else will sit at my table. And yeah, no. And I'm going over to my table, and my worst guy, the worst enemy, the just horrible kid. He trips me from behind, I fall down, my lunch goes everywhere, it's all over me, and the whole lunchroom erupts in laughter. And I'm telling you, as an adult, that's one thing, but as a kid, it's really terrible, it's hard. And I cried. I can say it, I cried. And I won't tell you the name of the kid that did it, because some of you might know him. Carrie Ferguson. Yeah, I'm not going to say, but... And it was such a horrible day. And I went home from school, and I go in the front door, and I take my glasses off, and I throw them across the room, and I'm yelling and crying, and my mom comes out. And she sits me down on the couch, and she puts her arm around me, and starts to console me. Now, I will just tell you, I was blessed with an angel mother. And... This happened like a really long time ago. I'm really old. But I still remember. But she sits me down, and my mother tells me 3 things. Now, if this is as, where's Tiana? If this is as Tiana described, if you only remember 7% of what I say today, which is probably big, okay? This is what I want you to remember. She told me 3 things. And these 3 things changed my life. The first thing she said was, she said, Kent, understand you are a person of value. Now, keep in mind, and I know some of you here shared my fate. I'm sure some of you here were bullied when you were little. But keep in mind that when you're bullied, you do not in any way feel that you are a person of value because you believe everything they say to you. You believe all those taunts and things they say. And so I looked at my mom and I could tell she really meant it. And she wasn't saying it just because she was my mom. And it made me feel really good. The second thing she said was, she said, Kent, no matter how ugly it is outside of this house, no matter how dark and yucky it is, know that inside this home, you are loved. And inside this home, it is happy, and it is light, and everything is good. And she said, know that I love you. And I looked at her, and I could tell she really meant it. And it made me feel really great. Because kids, when they're picked on, they don't feel feel like they're worth being loved. And I didn't. The third thing she said was, she said, Kent, I want you to know that someday, your eyes, your glasses, this thing that's your worst thing, someday it's going to be your best thing ever. Now, point number 3, I'm saying to myself, sure, right, that's not going to happen. But as a result of that conversation with my mother and the things she told me, I made a change that day. And I thought to myself, look, because when you're picked on all the time, you get smaller and smaller and smaller as you're defending from all the things that come at you, I thought if I could somehow be out of it myself, then maybe they wouldn't bother me so much. If I could somehow make them laugh about my glasses, maybe they wouldn't be so mean. Maybe they'd like me a little better. And so I came up with this game that I did with my glasses. Now I have farsightedness and astigmatism. Now that makes my particular lenses very magnifying. Now, thanks to computers today, the lenses are really thin. I mean, when I was young, they were like this thick. And so, and on a really hot day with these like this, I could burn newspaper from the sun. That's what I'm talking about. I look at the sun, my eyeballs would have melted, would have been gone. And so there's huge magnification that goes on with these. And so I went to school and I made up this game of making my eyes big, where I'd hold my glasses out from my face like this, and the eyes get really big and goofy, right? And guess what? It was a big hit at the school, and suddenly everybody in my class, in my school, they wanted to borrow my glasses. They said, hey, Kent, let me do the big eye thing with your glasses. And I let them. Not Carrie. No. Carrie Ferguson never touched the glasses. And suddenly I had friends, and I went on from there until I got to high school, and if you can believe it or not, high school, my senior year, I'm elected student body president. I know! Yeah, I know! Yeah, there's some 1973 styling right there. Yep, I got the corduroy jacket. I got that cloth belt thing going on, corduroy pants. Yeah, now, you'll notice we did not have Photoshop there, so look at my zipper going on, so had no Photoshop, and my hair, long. But the point I'm making is, who would have thought? Who would have thought the kid with no friends, nothing, could end up there? And it was because why? I got some confidence, I got out of myself. Now, we're gonna go fast forward a little bit because I'm just about out of time. After high school, when I was 19, in my particular faith, you have the opportunity, if you so choose to go serve a 2-year volunteer mission. Now, you get to choose to go, and you pay for it yourself. You don't get to choose where you go. And I was sent to Japan. And so I went to Japan. I was there for 2 years, and I had a great experience. The Japanese were just so great and everything. Someone say, Genki desu ka? I wanted to do that with you guys, because everyone goes up and they always say, hey, somebody say this, somebody say that, somebody say something cool, and you all join in and say it. Only a handful did just now. Say Genki desu ka? Now you have no idea. I might have had you just say a vile swear word. You have no idea. You don't know. That just means how are you? But I had a wonderful time in Japan. They were gracious to me. They taught me lessons I don't have time to go into today, maybe next time. But it was wonderful. I came back once again a changed individual. I wanted to spend some time with Japan. I wanted to do things with Japan, so I went to school, studied international business. Started a small business of my own, doing some trading, import-export stuff. In order to grow my business, I took my wife and our 6-month-old daughter, we moved to Japan. I know, pretty risky. We moved to Japan, started working on my business. I'd been there about 6 months, getting my staff and everything arranged, and I ran into and met a television scriptwriter who's getting ready to introduce her to audition foreigners for a slot on a Saturday Night Live-ish kind of show. Now, I'd done theater in high school, and I'd done theater in college, and I enjoyed it, so I said, what the heck, I'll give it a try. So I went and had the audition. And I won't go into detailed audition because we do not have time. But it was fun, and long story short, they gave me a shot on the show. I had a great time, they liked what I did, so they made me a regular member of the cast of this show, which at the time before I got there, having nothing to do with me, it was a very highly rated show. And so I'm going along on that show, and it's really fun. And about 6 months into the career of the show, of being on TV, I was asked to be interviewed by kind of the Barbara Walters. You all got to know who Barbara Walters was? She interviewed all the TV people. I was to be interviewed by the Barbara Walters of Japan. You wouldn't know her. Toshiko is her name. And so I'm being interviewed by her. We're talking about my life and my childhood. And I'm telling this story when I was a little boy, and I was bullied, and my mom made me feel better, and I made it this game with my glasses. And as I'm talking about the big eye game with my glasses, as I happen to be doing it, the camera's doing a close-up of my face. And so suddenly the television screen is just filled with two big eyeballs. The studio erupts, completely erupts. The cameraman's laughing so hard he's shaking the camera like this. And suddenly, the big eyes thing becomes this phenomenon in Japan. And everywhere I go, people are, hey, do the big eyes thing, do the dragonfly eyes thing, show us what that's like. And suddenly, it's a big deal. And so for about, I'm a little embarrassed to say, but for about 2 or 3 years, this paid my bills. Yeah. Now, I'm sure almost all of you are leaping ahead to where I'm going. My mother was right. My mother was prophetic. Who knew? As a kid, I didn't know. But this extra launched what turned into a 25-year career on television in Japan. Who would have knew? Carrie Ferguson? I want you to know, I want you to take away from what I'm saying today, inside each weakness is a seed of strength. Now, I don't care who's in this room right now, you have a weakness somewhere, you have something you're not liking about yourself, about what you do, how you do it, and something you feel is your weakness. And inside that weakness is a seed of strength. Know it. It's there. Now, here's the question. Will you give in to your weakness? Or will you grow your seed of strength? Are you going to be the tree that splits the rock? Are you going to be this goofy guy that makes his eyes like enormous? Yeah, I wouldn't do that too much. I want to tell you now as I'm closing 2 or 3 very important things. Thing number 1. Everyone here has something. And I want to tell you those 3 things my mother told me are as viable in your life as they are in mine. Each one of you here is a person, an individual of value, tremendous value. To your close friends, to your family, to your Team Fusion family, your organization, you are each individuals of value, and each one of you are loved. Each and every one of you are loved. Now I can't say number 3, I can't say that whatever this weakness is going to turn into help you on a career in television in Japan, I can't say that. But whatever that weak thing is, turn it, burn it, bend it, break it, make it your strong thing, because you can if you just will. Now, we have got some beautiful trees in Team Fusion. I mean, look at those trees. They are gorgeous. They are growing tall. They're standing tall. They're breaking rocks. Team Fusion is a beautiful, beautiful grove of trees. But are you satisfied? Are you satisfied? Well, I'm not satisfied. Brandon, James, are you guys satisfied? I know Mark's not satisfied. Here's my vision of Team Fusion. Right there. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. A forest of Team Fusion trees as thick and deep and as far as you can see. That's even bigger than Carl Taylor's potato farm is what that is. And you can get there 1 tree at a time. Okay, here we go. Know this, adversity does not define you, but what you do in the face of adversity does. It does and will define who you are, who you become, and what you do in your life. When you face adversity, you face it full on, get confident, and fix it. Go right through it. Don't whine about it. Go right through it. It's up to you. Who will you be? A rock on the ground or a towering tree? It is your choice, my friends. It is your choice every day. You get up in the morning and you decide, what am I going to be today? Am I going to rock around? Or am I going to grow and I'm going to be the tree? Now, you actually don't have too many rocky places to go. You've got so much fertile ground going on. You've just got great things going on. You've got great upline. But we all have a tendency at times to whine, don't we? When something doesn't go quite right, you whine a little bit. No whining. Whining will get you nowhere. Maybe get you a little loopy, but nowhere else. So, decide today. Now, you all know what our theme word for this year is, right? It's the word go. I love the word go. You know why? It's an action word. It's an action word, and it means we're going to do what? We're going to go. We're not going to be static. We're not standing still. We're going to go. And so, in closing, go Kyani, go Team Fusion, and individually, go you, because that's what it's all about, is you as an individual. My name is Dericott. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 5. I'm a grandfather of a bunch. I'm Chief Sales Officer, and I